Here's a strange question. If you ask a random person making $45,000 a year and another person making $95,000 a year, do you feel financially free? Most of the time, both of them say no. That's odd, right? Double the income, same anxiety, same tightness in the chest when a text comes in from an unknown number, quietly hoping it's not a hospital or a mechanic. Same feeling of being one bad month away from a real problem. You'd expect the person earning twice as much to feel twice as relaxed. But that's not what happens. Ask around, and you'll find plenty of people earning six figures who are just as stressed about money as people earning half of that. Not because they're bad with money, not because they're lazy or irresponsible. Something else is going on. Today, I want to talk about something that almost nobody explains clearly, even though it's happening to millions of people at the exact same time, in almost the exact same way. Not a tip, not a hack, not another 5 things to cut from your budget video. A trap that doesn't look like a trap because it looks like success. It looks like a normal, responsible, upwardly mobile life. That's what makes it dangerous. You don't fall into it by being careless. You fall into it by doing everything that looks right. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this trap works, why smart and disciplined people fall into it anyway, and what a different path actually looks like without hype, without guilt, and without pretending there's a shortcut. Let's take someone we'll call Mike. Mike is 29 years old. He works in B2B sales for a mid-sized software company in a decent-sized American city, not New York or San Francisco, just an ordinary metro area. He makes $70,000 a year, which by most measures is a solid, respectable income. He's not rich. He's not struggling. He's exactly what most people would call doing fine. 2 years ago, Mike was making $52,000. Since then, he's had one promotion and one cost of living raise. Every time his income moved up, something else moved with it. When he got the raise, he leased a Toyota Camry. Nothing crazy for $120 a month, including insurance. His old car, a 10-year-old Corolla with 140,000 miles, was paid off completely. It ran fine, but it didn't feel like him anymore. It felt like a reminder of where he used to be, not where he was going. Around the same time, his lease was up on his one-bedroom apartment. He'd been living in a decent but plain building. When the renewal came in, he thought, I make more now. I should live somewhere that reflects that. So he moved to a newer building with a gym, a rooftop lounge, and secure package pickup. Rent went from $1,300 to $1,650. His phone plan got upgraded to unlimited everything, plus the newest iPhone on a payment plan, another $45 a month he barely notices. His gym membership became a boutique fitness studio at $150 a month instead of the $25 big box gym he used before. Weekend brunch with friends, the occasional concert ticket, and a few streaming subscriptions he forgot he still pays for. All normal, all small, all reasonable in their own. None of this feels reckless. If you sat Mike down and asked him to justify any single purchase, he could do it in 10 seconds. I need reliable transportation. I want to live somewhere safe and nice. I work hard. I deserve a good phone. Every explanation sounds completely rational, and that's exactly the point. That's the whole trap. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to sabotage their financial future. It happens through 100 small, defensible decisions that quietly stack on top of each other until the room is full and nobody remembers filling it. Here's what's actually going on underneath all of that. Mike's income went up by roughly 35% over 2 years, but his lifestyle expenses went up by almost the same percentage, sometimes faster. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, sometimes referred to as lifestyle creep. The mechanism is simple, almost mechanical. Every time your income increases, there's a brief window, usually just a few weeks, where you have more cash sitting in your account than you're used to seeing. In that window, your brain doesn't interpret it as money to build wealth. It interprets it as room to breathe. Quietly, your spending expands to fill that room, not all at once, gradually, one upgrade at a time. The dangerous part isn't the spending itself. It's that the gap between what you earn and what you spend never actually widens. Mike's raise never reached a savings account in any meaningful way. It got absorbed by rent, the car, subscriptions, and slightly nicer versions of everything he already had. The income changed. The structure underneath it did not. This is different from being irresponsible with money. Mike doesn't gamble. He doesn't rack up credit card debt buying things he can't pay off. He pays every bill on time. By every conventional measure, he looks financially healthy, but he's caught in a treadmill that speeds up exactly as fast as he does. He's running, and he's not falling behind, but he's also never getting anywhere. This is the part nobody tells you clearly. Most financial content focuses on poor decisions like credit card debt, impulsive purchases, and payday loans. Those are real problems, but they're not the middle class trap. The middle class trap is subtler. It's built entirely out of reasonable decisions. That's why it's so hard to see from the inside. Let's slow down and actually run the numbers, because numbers make this trap visible in a way that feelings never will. Mike earns $70,000 a year, after taxes and payroll deductions. His take-home pay is roughly $56,000 a year, or about $4,600 a month. Rent, $1,650. Car payment plus insurance, $600. Phone, gym membership, and subscriptions, $250. Groceries and eating out, $900. Miscellaneous spending, $500. That's about $3,900 every month before he even thinks about saving. That leaves around $700 in a good month. Maybe $200 makes it into savings or retirement. The other $500 disappears into unexpected expenses: a car repair, a wedding gift, a costly grocery trip, or a last-minute flight home. That means only about 4.3% of his take-home income is going toward his future. Most financial advisors recommend saving somewhere between 15% and 20% of income for long-term security. Mike isn't drowning in debt. He's not in financial crisis, but he's standing still, always one unexpected expense away from moving backward. That's the trap. So why does this happen? The answer lies less in math and more in psychology. Spending decisions are rarely made with a calculator. They're made in front of a mirror. People constantly ask themselves, consciously or not, how does this make me look? Mike compares himself to co-workers buying houses, friends posting vacations, or relatives celebrating life milestones. His brain isn't asking, am I financially secure? It's asking, am I keeping up? That's why lifestyle inflation feels normal. There's another trap called single transaction thinking. Each purchase seems reasonable by itself, but almost nobody steps back and asks whether all of those reasonable purchases combined still leave them making meaningful financial progress. There's also identity. For people who grew up with less, the first major raise feels emotional. It feels like proof that the hard work paid off. Spending becomes a way of confirming that new identity. None of this makes Mike foolish. It makes him human. Fast forward several years, Mike is now earning $110,000 a year. His house is bigger, his mortgage is higher, his car is newer, vacations are more expensive. His income increased, but so did everything else. His savings rate barely improved.